Hey, hi everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I hope I'm properly audible, properly visible. Okay, perfect. Just give me a minute. I'm just doing this setup on this laptop. Okay, cool. Now, if you see today's setup, it is a bit different. If you can see, this is basically a Zoom meeting. Normally, we do this Zoom webinar, right? Where you can't see others, you can only see the trainers or the host. But this time, since this is a project session, we are doing a Zoom meeting. Now, what I request everyone is to get your camera on. It's better for the interaction, right? So if you have your camera on. Okay, just waiting for the cameras. Okay, thank you so much, Aditya. And we got TR, Ayushi, Kington. Okay, thank you so much. Anil also is there. Okay, and meanwhile, while we are discussing, if you can get your camera on. See, today there will be a lot of interactions, and in this interaction, if you have your camera on, it is better. Then we'll feel that we are talking to real humans. Otherwise, in the world of AI, anyone can reply, right? So we are not sure who we are talking to. Okay, now what's the agenda of today's session? Basically, we are going to discuss the how we are going to implement the project, what kind of project we are going to work with, and how we are going to do it. Individual, in teams, and in teams, how we are going to approach it. So those things we are going to discuss in today's session. Make sense, everyone? Okay, so before we do that, anyone, can you just highlight what are the things we have done till now, the topics which we have covered? Anyone can get the camera on, sorry, the mic on, and we can talk about it. Okay, Riaz is saying the last topic was theme leaf. Yeah, but in terms of Spring, what are the things we have covered? Spring Core is done. Spring MVC is over. Okay, and
Yeah, I mean, Spring with complete XML approach with the annotations approach and Spring Boot. And after that, we have done the Spring JPA,
hmm,
Spring JDBC. Then again, like Spring MVC. We are about to kickstart with Spring RESTful Services.
awesome.
Yeah, I mean, Haider has also showed us like how to create the front end using the theme leaf.
Okay, cool. Yeah, those are the things which we require for this project. So we are at the right time. Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for the answers. And now let's start the discussion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open Sublime. So the machine which I'm using today is quite new. give me a minute. A lot of settings are not there in this machine. Okay, perfect. I hope my screen is visible now, where I'm sharing editor screen. Okay, perfect. Now, what kind of project we are going to do and how we are going to do it? So first, I will discuss about the project. In fact, there are not just one project, there are multiple projects to discuss. And then we'll focus on how we are going to approach it. So the first project we are going to discuss is called rewards. The second project we're going to discuss is e-commerce. And the third one is tours and travel. The fourth one is real-time quiz. Okay, now these are the four projects which we have in mind. Okay, and normally in every batch we try to do something different. And this time it's real-time quiz which we have added. Banking. So the first one you're talking about, Akash, the rewards. Okay, yeah. So the first one is banking one. So what is the rewards application? So in rewards, basically what we do is, I mean, most of us, we use credit cards, right? And every time you do a transaction, you get some rewards out of it, right? And the credit card application itself, so if you're using any bank credit card, they give you uh, a place where you can claim your rewards. So example, let's say if you do a transaction of 10,000 rupees, you get rewards, let's say 1,000 points. Now with those 1,000 points, you can buy certain things from their website. So this 1,000 points will not give you 1,000 rupees, but maybe 10 rupees or 15 rupees, depending upon the credit cards. And with those 10 rupees, you can buy something, maybe a chocolate, right? So this is the idea behind rewards. The same thing we need to replicate here. So it's kind of an e-commerce. So maybe we can merge the first and second together, where in the rewards application, you see the moment you open the rewards application, you will see all the products which you can redeem. So every user will have different points using which they can redeem the products. So basically what we expect here is a person should be able to redeem the points. Okay, and you need to show products on the page. Okay, so basically you show the product and you don't show the price there. Normally in the e-commerce website, if you go to Amazon or any other website, you see the price. But since we are working with rewards, you only show the points. So let's say if you want to 20 rupees, the chocolate will cost you, let's say 1,000 points. I hope I'm properly audible because I just saw a message on my screen. My internet is not stable. Any issue with my voice and video? Okay. Okay, now it's clear, right? Okay. Good. So just let me know when my voice breaks so that I will just repeat this sentence. Okay, cool. So you just have to show the products on the page and there should be points for the purchase, not the price. Cool. Next, every user will have different points. So by default, whenever a user logged in, maybe you can give 1,000 points on registration. And every time a user does a transaction, you basically add some points there. Maybe how many points? Maybe you can say 10 points for 100 rupees transaction, or maybe whatever currency you want to convert into. Yeah, so you can also convert it into any other currency. So maybe rupees, dollars, or whatever currency you want to work with. Okay, so 1,000 points on registration and 10 points for every 100 transaction. Now the question arises, how you are going to add this point? See, adding initial points is very easy, but what about per transaction? Is it transaction really happening? Example, let's say if you build an application where you have users, let's say Aditya, Ayushi, Vishal, these are the users, how they will get extra points? Maybe they have to do real transactions, they have to spend money, or maybe we can do some random generator. So every 5 minutes, what you can do is you can do a simple transaction and send them, and I mean random transaction with random amount and add random points. So for one user, I mean 5 minutes, one user. So every 5 minutes, you can imagine if you have 10 users, in next 50 minutes, you will have 10 transactions. Does it make sense? Well, any questions till now before we continue? Okay, perfect. Now, my next question is how we are going to do this. I will talk about other projects as well, but question is how we are going to do it. Do we also need to build UI? You can, but then UI is not compulsory. What's more important is the backend. So you should be able to build the APIs, right? For rewards, let me check with my team. If we can give you the UI, you just have to build the backend. It will be more fun, right? When you get the UI, nothing works. And suddenly you start building the backend and the backend is working. I mean, the app is working. Let's see if we can do that. At least for one of the project, we can give you the UI. Are these only the two requirements? No, I'm just giving you the high level things. Once you start building it, you will get more ideas. So you have to build your own small requirements there. Okay, to do this, you have to first complete this. Okay, now question is how we are going to do this. Now we can do these projects in group or we can do it individually. Which is the best approach? Of course, the group one, because you will, once you start working for a company, you will realize that I mean, of course, if you're still working for a company, you know, you work in a team, right? You don't work alone, provided you're not working for a non-funded startup. There you work alone, right? You are the only person who does all the things, development, deployment, cleaning the bathrooms, right? So, but then when you work for any company, any big project, you have a team, and it's difficult to work in a team. It's very easy to work alone, right? So we'll struggle with that. But from our past experience, we have seen people do commit that they're going to do the project. But since this is remote, it's very difficult to handle. So team starts with fine a team, and then suddenly you become two, and then only one person comes out with the project. Maybe mostly a college project, right? We do the same thing there. So let's start with the group. And at any given point, if you feel the group is not supporting, you can do it individually. Okay. Now, how you are going to communicate with your team, the main question is, who is your team members? Who is going to decide your team members? And this is where you allow Zoom application to decide. Okay. Now in Zoom, we have this very beautiful feature called breakout rooms. So I will simply create uh, how much? 8 breakout rooms with different time zones, and you go. So we can completely make it random, or we can go with time zones. That makes much more sense. So you will join your time zone things. Okay. But before we do that, I want to know the poll, how many time zones we have. I mean, what are the time zones people we have here? So if you can enter your time zones in the chat. Okay, EST, EST, CST, IST. Okay, do one thing. Do one thing. On Zoom, raise your hand for PST. I want to know the count. I can't see any hand raised. So on Zoom application, raise your hand for PST if you're in PST time zone. If you have not joined through Zoom, I'm sharing the link once again. Okay, PS is from PS from. Okay, only one, two. Okay, next from EST. Raise your hand on Zoom if you are from EST time zone. Okay, Anurag is from CST. You're not getting option on the Zoom your hand? Okay. It should be in reaction. So there's a react button. Okay. I'm still not sure the correct numbers, but yeah, let's do that. Next, EST. Did I just say EST before? CST. Others, you can lower your hands on Zoom. Okay. What about IST? Or maybe let me just create the breakout rooms. So what I'm going to do is now is let me create the breakout room with different time zone. Just join there. What do you call the time zone for Australia? Anyone from Australia or near the Australian continent? No? Okay. So just to reiterate, we got CST, we got EST, PST, IST, and GMT. Anything other than that? GMT and UTC is same, right? So now instead of learning Java, we are learning time zones. Nice. Okay. So I'm creating teams here. And open the rooms. So what you do is join these teams. So you might be seeing an option of joining. Join based on your time zone. And just stay there for 5 minutes. Discuss among yourself. I will call you back just to know which team you belong to. Yeah, Dilip and Sai, you can join your respective teams. I mean, you can be in the same team.
Sorry, actually, how to join that group?
Have you joined through Zoom or on the dashboard?
No, I have joined through Zoom only. Zoom application.
There should be an option of joining a breakout room. There should be a pop-up or there should be a button down.
So I didn't get any pop-up.
Do you see any option in the, okay, Akash is saying in more options. If you see more anywhere,
Yeah, more I can say. Okay, join backup. Got it.
perfect. Okay, so waiting for everyone to join back to the main room.
How is Haider doing? He was not feeling well yesterday.
He's good, almost good. So last night we had a chat and a bit of cold, but mostly he's good. So maybe by tomorrow he'll be fully set. Okay, so now I'm going to share the things which I've written on the text pad in the Zoom chat. And the morning tea is here. Okay, so now you know your team members. At least you have seen their names or faces in your individual group. Now it's time for more discussion. So what you do is, I will open the breakout room again for 10 minutes. Know your team members, who they are, where they work, what kind of project they have worked on. Or maybe I can just open for 15 minutes. Also discuss about the project, what you have understood and what any questions they have. And the most important thing is how you are going to communicate in future. Now you have a breakout room, but what after that? So maybe you can share, if possible, your email ID with them, your, whatever communication you feel better. Depend upon your privacy settings, depend upon your comfort. So email, WhatsApp, Telegram, Discord, whatever works. So if you don't want to share your phone number, you can use Discord. If you're okay with to share your phone number with your team members, use WhatsApp. So that depends upon your team dynamics. Okay. So again, let me repeat, I'm going to open the breakout room for 15 minutes, discuss with your team members, know them, and then discuss about the project and the future way of communication. And then we'll focus on the other projects as well. Cool. So now opening the breakout room. Now you know your breakout rooms. I just have to rename them. And for that, I need to note down somewhere. So we got IST1, IST2, IST3. So people who were in the GMT room, they will be in IST3. CST, EST, EST. Okay, that's it. Let me recreate these rooms. IST1, IST2, IST3, CST, EST. Okay, so in total we got 6. Okay, interesting question. Dilip says, what's the timeline for this completing the project? So we need to complete this 2 weeks once we complete the sessions. So once the entire spring course finishes, in 2 weeks you have to finish this. That's the deadline. And this is the deadline for yourself to set. Because most of the time, it depends upon the team as well. Some people are very active. They finish the project in 2 weeks. Some people it takes a month. Yeah, 2 weeks after the course is finished. Because you're going to add a lot of features based on what you're learning on the go. So now you can only implement data JPA. You can't even implement REST APIs. Right? Okay, so opening the breakout room. And I'll be jumping in different rooms. You just continue with your talk. Ignore me. I'm just seeing things. Okay, so breakout rooms are open. You can choose your groups. Okay, back to the main room, everyone. I hope you had a good discussion with your team members.
Yes, Naveen.
Okay, perfect. So things which you might have discussed about you, about the project and the way of communication. I went to from a few of the groups and then they were talking about WhatsApp, so that's good. WhatsApp being the fastest mode of communication, the only concern with WhatsApp is the number sharing. If you're not comfortable with that, I would still encourage you to use Discord. I mean, just an option for you. Okay, cool. That was the project discussion. Now let's talk about the second project. Rewards is something which you are going to build. Now, intentionally, I'm not giving you all the requirements of rewards. It's because I want you to figure out what else we need in this project. And by doing that, we will make sure that every team have a different project. Otherwise, if I give you all the requirements, everyone will come with the same project. So you got the basic logic, right? What we need.
Yes.
Perfect. Now let's talk about the second project, which is your. So you can basically merge e-commerce and rewards together. That's something you're going to do by yourself. The next project, which is tours and travels. I'm going to share my screen. So the next one, tours and travels. Now this is a project where you will get help as well. In fact, there is one where you will get the help. I think e-commerce. There's some disturbance. Okay. I think e-commerce and tours and travel, these are the projects where you will get the help. Now, how you are going to get the help? Once we complete Spring Rest, and just remind Heather once almost at the end of Spring Rest, that you need the project weekly projects. Now, or maybe yeah, somewhere around weekly. So what you will do is, e-commerce and tours and travels, you will get a specific set of requirements. Not now, but once we complete Spring Rest. You will get a document, you will get all the requirements in iterations. So let's say if e-commerce project takes 4 weeks to complete, how you are going to do is, first week you will get some requirement, maybe MVP. In that 1 week, you have to build that MVP. In case if you're not able to do that, we will give you the code. Make sense? Then second week, we'll give you more requirements. You build the product. If you're not able to do it, we'll give you the code so that you will not get stuck for the next week. So the second week requirement is based on the first week code. I hope I'm making sense. And for the e-commerce, we will also give you the UI. So UI is ready. You just have to build up APIs for that in the backend. Now this project, you can do it individually. The rewards, you can do it in a team. E-commerce, if you want, you can do it individually. And this will go on for 4 weeks or 6 weeks. You will get the document soon. Okay. As of now, we are going to skip tours and travels because this project is still into building. About tours and travels, Heather will give you more information. It is same as e-commerce. It's just that the domain is different. Instead of product, you have tools and packages. The admin work is more than the user work in tours and travels website. Okay, let's talk about the real-time quiz. Now, this real-time quiz is a bit challenging is because you are going to use something in this which you have not learned. How many of you, okay, I'm not sure if we have played a Menti in this batch. Have you played Menti before? Yeah, we did, right? You enjoyed Mentimeter? Okay. How about building yourself, building by yourself? It looks very easy, right? Mentimeter. You got a simple page where you see the questions, you answer it, and then you see the leaderboard. It's so fancy and simple. But the challenging part here is how multiple people are able to communicate at the same time. Those real time is critical. And that's where you have to use WebSockets. And in this course, we are not teaching you WebSockets. Intentionally, we are asking you to do that is because you need to also learn how do you learn a new thing in Spring. Because once you join your project in a company, see, Spring is huge. They have multiple projects. And it's very difficult. It's not difficult. It's impossible to teach you all the modules. Otherwise, we have to stay here for 5 years together. So what if you get a module in your project, which you have not learned? So how do you learn the new module by yourself? That's the thing you will learn in this real-time quiz. How do you work with WebSocket? How do you work with this real-time question answer sending? Making sense, everyone? So this real-time quiz is basically a clone of Menti. So rewards you are going to do in a group. E-commerce you're going to do individually. Tours and travels, we can discuss that later. Mentimeter, you can do it in a group. So if you want to understand the real challenge of development, this Menti project will teach you that. How things can break. Any questions?
Any small sessions about WebSockets? At least a starting point.
Let me connect with Heather first, and we can see if we can have more sessions.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, let's see. WebSockets. Okay. And anything else? Okay, so I'm going to open the breakout room once again for 5 minutes. Just make sure that your team understands the project, or maybe you need 10 minutes for discussion on the other projects with your team, how you're going to approach, or maybe you can do it after the session on whatever mode of communication you're following. What do you think?
Sir, create one more time.
Yeah, for 10 minutes?
Yep.
Okay, you can
And the
join.
requirement we need to discuss and explore more for the reward.
Yes,
project.
yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe you can do it after the call. So once the calls get Zoom gets over, you can connect with your team members separately and discuss.
Sure.
Naveen, just opening the Discord, the Telescope channel. So thought of like, why can't we also have a common community group in the Discord in Telescope, like for this batch?
In fact, we used to have it earlier. We did that for first few batches, and then we realized it's very tedious task because every time someone enrolls, they have to join the Discord. For that, they have to send an email with their Discord ID. We
Okay.
used to make it private because the moment you make it public, everyone will join.
Yeah, makes sense.
So that was a tedious task, and we are looking for an option, maybe something like a WhatsApp group for a batch or a Telegram group. We were thinking about WhatsApp group, but the problem is again the privacy concerns. Maybe Aditya don't want Anurag to know his number, so that becomes critical. On the other hand, Ankita, तुमचा mic on आहे. Yeah, where was I?
Yeah, about the groups.
Yeah, Telegram looks like a good option. So team is still figuring out how we are doing it. In fact, on the dashboard, we do have an option of community groups. For each batch, there's a community group on the dashboard, if you have seen.
In the dashboard? Oh, no, I never saw.
Okay. So check Telescope once.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. One more thing. Anyone want to contribute in the Telescope project? But then you need to be, so if you want to contribute, we want commitment because we are building our own Mentimeter. Because the Mentimeter which we are using is great, but the problem is, okay, how many of you have played Mentimeter? Everyone played, right, in the group? Okay, there's a hack. How do you win Mentimeter? So let's say next time when we play Mentimeter, if we give rewards, of course, you will try to find a hack to win the game, right? And the way you do that is once we start Mentimeter as an audience, and if you go to your inspect element, you will see all the questions and answers. So what Mentimeter is doing is just to make it more fast, they are giving all the question and answers on the client side so that they can calculate on the go. I mean, while the participant is playing so that they can reduce the latency. And to do that, they send all the question answers. How we got to know is we were playing this game on YouTube, Mentimeter, and around 800, 900 people joined in one Mentimeter session. For most of them, Mentimeter crashed. Even I was getting Mentimeter errors. But then 1 or 2%, they were answering like, they were not even reading the question. Tuck. The moment they saw the question, answer. And the points they were getting was very high. Then we came to know that using some extensions, you can fetch those questions from the source code. Even if you're not using extension, you can directly just right click and go to inspect element and see the question answers. So they were doing that. So in fact, we have sent mail to Mentimeter as well, way back last year, Jan, that this is a bug, please resolve it. No reply from them. And then we decided to build our own. We decided last year. We started 2 months ago. And that's how the team works, right? You decide, and then after a year, you start working on it. So currently we are working with it. Flow is very good. If you want to be a part of it, just send an email to the email ID connect@telescope.com, and our developers will connect with you. I'm sharing the okay. Only if you have enough time, okay? It's not. So when we say contribute, you need to take out a lot of time to contribute. And again, the project which are going to contribute will not be an open source project. So no credits. Which will be working on like front end, both. So we're looking for volunteers for front end and back end both.
I mean, how exactly would you delegate the work?
So currently we are building Mentimeter, right? So we have reached to the level of leaderboard. Now we need to add some more features, like currently only people can join at the start. What if they want to join in between? We don't have an option of that in the project. So maybe one of the tasks will be given to you. Okay, so how do we allow participant to join at any time? So you pull the project, you make some modification and you push. So again, it was not planned. Since you were excited to build the project, I thought, let's do that. I'm not sure how this will work. Yeah. So send an email. Let's connect with with the developers and anyone who is interested here, and let's see how we can figure this out. Okay, perfect. Okay, so on that note, it's already time over. So start working on the project with your team, and mostly after 2 weeks, once we complete spring rest, at least 90% of it will come back as a community class where everyone can join the Zoom meeting and we can discuss again on the project. Cool. Okay. On that note, bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.